All right, guys. So we got some pretty big news in regards to One Piece, which, to be honest, wasn't the biggest shock to me. So I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you were shocked. I don't know if you're disappointed, whatever the case is. But personally, this announcement wasn't the biggest surprise in the world. So let's just get straight into it. One Piece. There's an announcement that One Piece is officially taking a 6-month hiatus from the anime to, at least in the main reason that they put out, was to address the animation quality of the show. And personally, when I first saw that, I was like, that's BS. The animation is already top tier, pretty much consistently, especially in Wano. The Wano arc animation was great, especially the closer we got to the final showdown between Luffy and Kaido. The impact scenes were freaking mind-blowing. It was great pretty much throughout the Wano arc, and through the Egghead arc, as far as the anime, I haven't had any complaints. So I personally think that's BS, or if that truly is where their mind is going, then I guess that's okay. I'm personally not crazy about any future updates to the animation styles and things that are consistent with today's bigger anime. Personally, I'm forever going to be a stan of the 90s style animation style that we got with like the original Sailor Moon, the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z series. Sometimes I forget how old those series are because the animation style was so great and detail oriented at the time. And so when I look at like even Dragon Ball Daima just came out, which looks good, but the new animation styles that come out with just this generation of anime, My Hero Academia and stuff like that, I won't say it's bad. I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. It's just not top tier to me. Top tier is always going to be 90s, but that's just me. That's a different video though. So back to what I said, I really think the whole thing of them taking the 6-month hiatus to improve the animation, even if that's partially true, I'm just not, crazy about it. So here are a few other reasons on top of that when I did a little bit of looking around, that they actually do also plan to address on top of the animation. So the first thing is that they're in a preparation phase. They're looking to gear up for the next major arc of the story. Animation-wise, they're already in the Egghead arc. I don't know if they finished it yet. I need to catch up. Egghead is supposed to be pretty important. I don't remember what's after that, but they're getting geared up for basically the final saga of One Piece, which the final saga isn't really going to be the final saga because I believe Oda's already confirmed that once Luffy becomes king of the pirates, so of course we knew he was going to be king of the pirates, shown in the anime. Once that happens, the story's going to continue. So it's like he's going to do a whole other series, and I just saw something on Instagram about his thoughts on maybe potential spin-offs. There would be one for probably Garp, and there would be another one for Dragon. So honestly, I would look forward to that. I don't mind that. That is the more, I guess, main reason behind it, is that they're really gearing up to make sure that the final saga is going to end up being top tier from the animation and everything. Which kind of brings me to the second point, which this one they need to address. I love One Piece. I have always loved One Piece. Actually, no, I didn't. The first time I was younger and tried to watch One Piece, it looked so weird to me. The concept of a rubber dude and all this other stuff as a kid was weird. So I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really binge One Piece until college, until undergrad. Before that, I wasn't a One Piece stan closer to how I am now. But I've always had, just like everybody, there's one particular thing about One Piece that is terrible, terrible. And even the Wano arc isn't safe from it. And like the flashbacks and them reliving so many scenes. They don't even do the thing where if they throw in a flashback, they just put 1-2 main frames, that of like if someone needs some motivation because they're about to do some big clash with an enemy, right? And they need some motivational words from their mama or some other character that passed away. You know what I'm saying? They don't even do that, which is like 30 seconds, most likely less. And that's just that. Like, no, they play like half the episode of a different episode, probably the episode that was the last episode. So it's always been just a lot. In other words, they're addressing the pacing issues. And I'm glad that they are finally making that like priority number one. Pacing in One Piece is freaking abysmal. It always has been. I love it. I encourage any anime fan. If you're a beginner level anime fan, don't watch it. It's too much for you. There are a handful, only truly a handful of anime that I do not encourage beginners to just dive into. It's going to be too much. One Piece is one of them. At this point, just because of how long it is and how long it lasted with the original character, I might even throw the Pokemon franchise in there. Parasite Maxim, that is not for a first timer. High Rise Invasion, I wouldn't, is good in my opinion. I wouldn't recommend it. Evangelion, I don't think is even noteworthy for a first time. I still don't understand what the heck happened at the end of Evangelion. It's so weird. One Piece definitely is one of the, like, no, you have to be an anime fan, I'll say at least a year or two in terms of anime before you decide to jump in there. It's going to take up, so you have to literally dedicate, you cannot take breaks. Okay, depending on if you have 6 months. Matter of fact, let's put this out there. Y'all have 6 months. For those who want to get into the anime and you didn't feel like you had time, you didn't want to try to catch, it's well over 1,000 episodes at this point. Okay, you just had no reason. You didn't want to rush it. Maybe you don't want to cut off other stuff you're watching. Fine. You now have 6 months to catch up. Don't get me wrong. You got some binging to do. And you probably can skip some pieces here and there. But you have 6 months. You can watch at least a few episodes a day over 6 months. I'm not going to say you'll be all the way caught up, but you'll be, but you'll definitely be hooked by some point, if you were to do something like that. But either way, pacing is the main thing that they're going to address. Hopefully they address the whole flashback issue when it comes to, like, they do flashbacks so sometimes multiple times in a single episode, and then again, the length of the flashbacks might as well be a whole different episode or half of a different episode. It's a lot. So they said that they're going to tackle that because it's something that One Piece has been criticized about for many years. It's like the number one complaint about it. Even though, like, the actual arcs and, the plot of the story we love, the characters we love, but the pacing is what makes it so intimidating because, honestly, when it comes to how bad the pacing is in One Piece, you probably could shave off at least a couple of whole arcs when it comes to the way they did things. So I wasn't expecting this, but it does not surprise me that they made a promise. Like, when One Piece was put on Netflix and they said they're going to do weekly episode releases, they said from that point on, we're not taking any more breaks in the anime. I wasn't jumping for joy. I was like, let's just wait and see where this goes. Let's wait and see. And here we are. I'm pretty sure it hasn't been a year. And here we are, as them saying we're taking half a year off to improve things. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised in the least. Yeah, man, that's the main thing. Of course, the animation, they're always going to find different animation styles. Even when it comes to Dragon Ball Super, which, again, I'd be forgetting how old these shows actually are. Dragon Ball Super ended 7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago. It doesn't feel like it. Maybe because I still watch it, fairly often, somewhat. Then, again, the animation style is okay, even though the animation with Dragon Ball Super was trash. And pretty much anything outside of Jiren versus Goku and Vegeta and Frieza and that, towards the end of the Tournament of Power, almost everything else was cheeks. It was terrible. But, when it was good, and, it was cool. The animation style was cool. So to see how drastically different that is from the Daima animation style, I honestly wasn't expecting it until they showed, like, the clips and stuff, and I was surprised. So, I don't know. I hope they don't go closer to the Daima route. The animation change between Wano and Egghead was already off-putting at first. I got used to it, but it was already off-putting at first. So I hope they don't drastically change the overall style again. And again, the quality of it is already pretty fire, so I don't know why I felt the need to do this. At least leading with that reason. But yeah, I'll go ahead and leave this here, guys. What are your thoughts on it? Are you excited? Do you think it was needed? Do you think... Shoot, one of my homeboys said someone might have some health issues. You already know how intense being a mangaka and their staff. I deep dived into the whole, like, manga anime industry based in Japan. Historically, like, repeatedly, that industry, at least based in Japan, they do not get paid like that. And one of the key details I found out, I don't know if y'all already knew this, maybe I'm slow, but one of the things I found out is that they're very reliant on freelancers over there. So they don't really have actual consistent, like, in-house staff when it comes to animators particularly. That might be adding it up too. It could be a typical thing where the mangaka's health, Oda's health is on the decline, or he's just super sick, the staff is overworked, all that stuff. The strikes when it came to animation that happened earlier this year, yeah, maybe that's more of the core reason. So, but yeah, I'll go ahead and end it off here, guys. If you have any feedback, comments, suggestions for me, what are your thoughts on it? Are you excited? Do you think it was needed? Do you think there's something else we don't know? Go ahead and drop your thoughts for me in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.